Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of the Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys checking out today's video and spending some time with me. And we're going to be talking about what bass do and how to catch bass right before a cold front moves in. One of the reasons I wanted to do today's video is I'm actually on my way to Stockton Lake right now to fish. And guys, we have a typical prefrontal day coming in. It's like super windy. We got some clouds moving in, got a front on the way. And I want to talk a little bit about how I'm going to fish today and some things you need to do to capitalize on those situations when a front's on its way in. So we're going to get into that in today's video. Also, guys, before we get started, just want to thank everybody for all the support you guys have been showing the Fishing Teacher here. Thank you very much for everybody that's hit that subscribe button and everybody that's been using all my channel links in each video description. If you guys are one of the viewers that are doing that, big thank you from me and my family. Okay, one of the things that you'll find out about springtime fishing in particular is springtime bass are very weather sensitive. Out of all the seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall, when you have a front coming in or a front passing, the bass have a more pronounced or just more of a profound reaction to those frontal passages pre, during, or after any other time of the year. And I think that's a lot of it is because the fish are starting to move shallower. They're more sensitive because spawning's on their mind. Water temperatures are changing rapidly. There's a lot of different factors, but fish really turn off or turn on based upon the weather in the springtime of the year. And the conditions I want to talk about today are when a front is on its way in. And normally this usually takes place a day or two before a front comes through. Not any more than 2 days, but like a day or two before, specifically like a day before. A day before a front's supposed to roll in, you're going to notice this big change. Now, one of the things about it is I've never really been able to figure out why the fish react to weather changes the way they do. Now, it has to do something with their metabolism or their food source. That's the speculation on my part. But one of the things I can tell you from, fishing just so many different seasons, guys, decades and decades and decades of fishing during the spring and decades of fishing during different weather systems coming in, is when you have the typical cold front coming in, it's normally accompanied by a strong south or southwest wind. Temperatures are usually normal or maybe a little bit above normal. Barometric pressures are falling. You usually have differing degrees of clouds moving in. It can be partly cloudy or cloudy. And, it's usually a little bit windier. So you usually have windy, low light conditions, falling barometric pressure. Now, for whatever reason, again, this is speculation on my part, is when you have those conditions and you have water temperatures that are probably in the 50s or 60s, this is every bass angler's dream because it makes the fish aggressive and it makes them chase. It does not tuck them on the bottom. They actually are more conducive to follow and strike a moving lure. And this is one of the big things that you want to capitalize is any time that you go fishing before a frontal system come in, try to take advantage of your larger moving lures. Baits like your crankbaits, like your spinner baits, your glide baits, swim baits, stuff like that. All of those type of lures that move horizontally through the water column and are a little bit larger in size, those are going to be key lures during a prefrontal system. Now, you can catch them on slow baits too, like a jig or creature bait, but really take advantage of that fact that the fish are in a chasing mode because it doesn't last very long. So some of my favorite deals with that is when I'm fishing, prefrontal this time of year is, again, I like to use larger moving baits. So like a big 3/4 ounce spinner bait, a full-size chatter bait, a 3-inch square bill crankbait, maybe a larger swim bait like that Mega Bass Mag Draft. And I'm really trying to focus on some type of areas that are getting hit by wind. Wind will activate those fish when the water temperature is in the 50s and 60s, as long as that piece of structure that you're fishing is conducive to where those fish are setting up at. So biggest advice I can give you guys to keep it simple is in the springtime of the year, prefrontal, head straight to your major creek arms and start fishing the windy banks in there with those larger power lures. That's going to be a really, really good way to catch them. And experiment with the depth, because sometimes based upon the water temperature and everything, those fish can get really shallow right before front moves through. Instead of being on the typical pre-spawn areas that are a little bit steeper, sometimes the fish will take advantage of that temporarily, and they'll move up super shallow in 2 to 3 foot of water, and that's when you can catch them real good on a spinnerbait or a chatterbait or something like that. But like I said, main thing is concentrate on the wind, concentrate on larger power lures, and try to get out there if you can when those conditions are happening, because it doesn't last very long. It's like if you try to get to the lake, 3 or 4 days before front or right after front, you're going to notice the fishing quality is going to decline quite a bit. But if you can get out there a day or two before that front's rolling in, or the day that front's rolling in, sometimes it can add up to some good fishing. So anyway, I hope it helps you guys out. We'll talk later.